Hello, and welcome back to the Scarworld Season 2 server. My name is Volcata, and we're going to pick up where we left off last week with finishing off the sorter. And in the time-lapse you just saw, as you can see, I had to tear down the whole second area, second part of it, and rebuild it all from scratch. And, you know, sometimes you got to put the work in. It was definitely worth it. And so, you guys probably don't remember. There was a number of chests here. I'm just finishing cleaning them all up, and it's getting everything else sorted out. So hopefully this is the last of everything I've got to do. Oh, more stuff left than I realized. I brought a couple shulkers just in case. That. It was 2 double chests. There should have been more. Okay, there's their chest. All right, so but things are. It's feeling much better. I'll put my hat on here. It's nighttime. Oh, just going around and getting all these disparate things cleaned up. Actually, you know, we got one more over here, I think. Oh yeah, so that's got to go too. So I've cleaned up tons of chests. I've been industrious. And yeah, I mean, I haven't done any building here. I have, however, started the entrance. Let's sleep real quick here and show you guys what I got in mind. So I've laid out a platform here and got myself a staircase so that I don't have to keep jumping up and down. And we can just toss all this stuff in. I'll just throw the maps in. We'll dig them out later. And the shulkers. This is so satisfying. Just junk. Just toss it all in. I don't have to worry about any of it. I don't even need the chest. Or the bucket. Alright. Alright, that's all. Alright, so I'm going with a kind of a jungle theme. And I think kind of why I wanted to do this was because I knew this was going to be up off the water. And I had the kind of image in my mind of, you know, like shacks that are near, you know, near the shorelines. They'd always build the shacks up off the water. They're always up on stilts. And so that kind of led to a tropical idea, tropical theme. And so there will be some kind of stilting. If I can reach it. Probably something like that coming down. But that kind of led to, you know, just kind of doing a tropical theme. And, you know, the more I thought about it, the more I liked it. So we're going to have to just kind of see how it plays out. We're going to throw some acacia in. I think for, you know, originally I was going, because usually you do windows, but I was kind of playing around with motifs, and I feel like fence gates, or not gates, but just fences, probably work better when just don't glass it off. Let's make some more here. Those are gates, fences. All right, and I was thinking something like, maybe not. So we need to. I guess we need to first determine the height of this, and I want to go with. Oh, it's gonna be a little bit tall, I think. Maybe something like that. Let me get. I need, for some of the ideas I have, I need trapdoors. And maybe spruce? Dark oak, maybe? Because I don't want... I would like to go with jungle to stick with the colors, but I don't want trapdoors that you can see through, because I want them to be shelves. And it'll allow us to do kind of a shelving around it. I was trying to open the trying to open the chest. Let me unfortunately there's no wall type for wood, you know, like they did with all the stone types. But I'm thinking something like this with no. The shelving's gonna have to be on the top of the previous, because you gotta put stuff on top of it, right? Which means it has to be... Nope. This is not working out. And I don't know if I want to do... Yeah, I think I want to do jungle wood as the background. And I don't know if this is going to be the final height. We'll just play it by ear. But this is going to allow me to put things up on the shelves, like potted plants and whatnot, and other stuff. But I also want to bring the parrots up here, because they've just been hanging out down here all this time, and they fit obviously with the theme. So it'd be good to have them up here. Maybe we can do a little jukebox for some dancing parrots, and we can do kind of an archway like this. Doop. Come on. See, I think I need... Nope, that needs to be one higher. Let's see. Let's get something I can jump on here. So I think we need to go this high, because I think we want to hang some lights off of it. Lighting. Where did I put lighting? I put lighting... No? Why would I have put lighting there? Oh, redstone and lighting together. Okay, yeah. So I'm thinking like lanterns and maybe, you know, just regular torches for like tiki torches. We could do something like that. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so this is definitely going to need to be one higher, because I need it to go across the top. That means we set it like this. And I might leave the shelves at the same height. It depends on how much, because I want it to be visible enough. And we just kind of do this kind of cross-logging thing. So I think that's going to define our height. Just like that. And I'm gonna grab some like pots and put some plants in them. I don't know if, I mean, do potted plants require 2 height? I imagine if I move the shelves up one, they'd run into the ceiling. But the ceiling's gonna be arched anyway. Oh, and yeah. So there was another thing I wanted to try. I was thinking about it. This probably isn't gonna work, but I want to try it anyway. Which is, you know, I like a straw hut, a straw roof, and I really don't know if this is gonna work. Like the roof isn't gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be straw, but I was thinking that. Are they not directional? Do they always face the same way? Oh, that's the way of getting it turned. Okay. But I don't know one way or another. But I was thinking about doing like the underneath of it being like a straw insulation. So I'm gonna hang on to that as an idea. So I'm gonna build out the general shape of this place, and this is pretty convenient that I'm right next to the sorting system. But I'm gonna need some plants. Maybe a little bit of bamboo. What else would grow in the kind of the jungle? This couple, it's just for examples, right? I have a crafting table. Okay, so that's a lot smaller than I thought it was. So how would that look with a... Okay, so these could fit, like apparently we can't pot those. So those could fit, if necessary, those could fit in a 1 high. I still think that we need a 2 high, so I think that the shelving is probably where it should be. Which would mean we need to like take that out. And decide if we're going to do a backdrop of... Oh, no, not acacia. See, that I know that we can right click and do that. No, and then I picked the wrong one. I'm so good at this game. Yeah, we're gonna, because I want to have the open concept. It's not gonna be glassed off, and you know, let me get this started because I've probably already spent half the episode just doing this live, and I want to show you guys some progress and see what I came up with. So give me a little bit here, and I'll bring it back in. I might have gotten a little carried away. So yeah, update time. I've actually finished it. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. There's only one bad thing, which is with the pushing the shelves up higher, the birds are out of range of the jukebox. So unfortunately, they don't dance. Now, maybe I'll address that later. Maybe I'll get more birds. No, I'll worry about that later. I'll worry about that later. But for now, it's completely built. And I recentered this. I didn't need this to be a double chest, because mostly I'm putting shulkers in anyway. And even if I'm not putting shulkers in, if my full inventory goes into there, then, I mean, you know, I'm not going to overflow it. It's just not going to happen. If I had more stuff that needs to go into this input barrel than can fit in the barrel, it's not going to be fitting in my inventory anyhow. I have to go get it and then come back. And by then it's draining out. And why would I not have just used a shulker anyway? So I didn't need it to be a double chest. By removing the double chest, I was able to move this wall in for this kind of pattern. Because with it being a double chest, I had to have 2 backwards facing stairs so the chest could still open. And it just didn't work out. And so I switched it out to a barrel, and since it was now identical to the other one, I had to put signs up. But I'm glad that that made me come up with a better aesthetic. Oh, looks like the server is restarting. That's all right. Let's keep this short. So this is done, completely done, and I'm extremely happy with it. It came out better than I'd hoped it would. I guess it came out as well as I hoped it would, better than I expected it would. And the roof is completely spawn proof, so that's not probably gonna have to light it up. I went with this prismarine as opposed to the prismarine bricks because the prismarine bricks they had too refined of a pattern to them. They're normally good, but this was meant to be kind of roughing it, you know. And so the rocky pattern was better. But that's it. It's done. And someone was kind enough to donate. A Scarian named Tags was kind enough to donate a pig step record for me, which is something I have not been able to get my hands on. So thank you so much. It was just out of the blue. I am so appreciative. He came by to use a smelter and he dropped it off. So that's fantastic. So we're running out of time here on the restart. What we're going to do next is we're going to probably wall off the interior, clean up all this stuff because we know it all works. So maybe I'll time-lapse that. And then after that is working on the interior of this to put up walls and a roof, a halfway roof to make this a hallway. And then the other stuff we won't have to worry too much about. I'll probably replace all that stuff, but it won't be visible. So let's kick in a time lapse of my cleaning up the redstone. Well, that took a lot more effort than I expected. But it's done. Everything is done. Now, I say it took more effort. I mean, it really took more time because, you know, all the interior areas around the redstone, a lot of that needed to be dug out and squared off so that we had nice smooth walls. I know it's not completely necessary, but you know by now that I gotta do it. I like to have a nice clean redstone area, clean maintenance area, even if no one's gonna go back there. Every now and then I need to go back there, or, you know, if I want to make improvement later on or whatnot. It's just much nicer to have it. It makes me feel better when I spend the time doing it. But on top of that, I've done the sorting room and sorting hallway, which you've seen, I believe, from the top and the floor when I was placing it, but you haven't seen the room itself. So we're going to go and take a look at that. And I've done a little bit of off-screen cleaning up of the areas, doors and walls, and some redstone additions that I also wanted to show you. So let's head downstairs. First of all, the hallway transition. So from here, for the most part, it stays with the jungle theme, and then it transitions as we go down and into the warped theme. And I feel like this room just came out beautifully. It's a transition from the attached rail area, which was already, you know, going from green to the kind of cyan and aqua. And so we're going to kind of go in aqua to blue. And I think it just came out beautifully. I love these new colors, these new textures. You know, they're still considered new, right? And I went through and kind of cleaned up the item frames. And in this case, I replaced the item frames with signs because these items look too much alike when they're in item frames. You know, concrete and wool and whatnot. It was too hard to visually tell them apart. So I felt like going with signs was more practical in this case. The lights, I had to move them down one because with them up in the ceiling, they weren't providing enough light to mob proof. But that's fine. You know, it gave me a reason to put some depth into the ceiling. Now I moved, as you can see, there are missing chests here. This is where the unsorted chest used to be. And I moved it into its own little room. As you see, I gotta sort some things out still. And I added a ladder here to give us access to the sorting filters. So this works out beautifully. You know, you grab the things that need to be sorted still, and it's right up the ladder, and here we are. And as you can see, I added some redstoning. And what this does is it will pulse the lights when the sorter is running. And that's important because, you know, with this kind of redstone, you can't afford to have the chunks unload while the machine's running. And when I didn't have this ceiling here, I could see the observers running, but I can't see that anymore. So I needed a visual indicator, but I didn't want something that was annoying. I didn't want a bunch of flashing lights. And I think this was a good compromise. And I will show you it running in a moment here. We're going to carry around here to see how nice this looks all cleaned up. You know, just squared off and cleaned up. It's just easier to see everything. And if something breaks, it's easier to come back and see it. And I only flooded the room twice from the river that's right next to us. I also, you know, as I mentioned, we need to be able to turn it off. So I added an on-off switch, which disables a hopper in here. And I added a double chest as a buffer. Because the unloaders, they don't break. That's not a problem. It's just the sorting system. And in fact, I have stuff in it. So let's turn it back on. And while it's running, see, we get this not obtrusive little indicator here that the machine is running. And essentially what it does is we have a hopper clock, with an item circling around in the hopper, and it's normally blocked by this light being on, this lamp. And when items pass through here, it disables the lamp. But I don't want it to keep, the lights going crazy. So the item comes around, and then it gets blocked into the hopper back here by the power. So when that blink goes through, the unpowering, it unpowers it, lets the item go through, and it comes back to here. And if the torch is lit, it'll stop. If it's unlit, then it will keep circling. And so that gives us just the casual slow pulse without it being, obtrusive. I'm a fan of disco and all, but it can get a little annoying in here. But that's going to be it. Everything's done. It's all wrapped up. It works beautifully. I'm so happy that I finally knocked this thing out. There's just something satisfying about having all of your stuff organized and cleaned up. And I'm so very pleased with the way it turned out. So let's wrap it up. And, if you have any questions about it or any comments, leave a comment in the comment section. If you liked it, leave a like. If you're a Scarian and you want to build one of these for yourself, feel free to stop by. I'll, give you some advice on what it took to build it, and I can help you troubleshoot if you have a problem with yours. So hope to see you guys on the next episode. And, thank you very much for watching, especially if you've made it all the way to the end.